I'm Matthew.
I'm Manny.
I'm Nate.
Home. Something we all know. What words come to mind when you think of the word home? Maybe it's the familiar faces, the safe environment. Maybe it's even just the understanding of how to get what you need. It's something we all understand, but what if those familiarities fade? War breaks out. You need to flee. Your home isn't safe. America is where you go, and after the 18 to 24-month process of being resettled, the government only assists 30 to 90 days, and then what? You're left alone. You're in a community you don't know. Without these connections that you have in the community, you don't have familiar faces. You don't have the safe environment that you once had. And because of this, you feel like you feel the isolation. This is a story that's more common than you think. This is a story of thousands of refugees that become resettled in the United States. And because of the culture barrier and the language barrier that they aren't attuned to, the help that they don't get, many of them feel the isolation and therefore cannot be self-sustainable in their community as easily. This is what we want to combat in the Dallas area.
So why Dallas? We picked the Dallas area because it's one of the highest concentrations of refugees in America, with nearly half of Texas's almost 7,500 refugees. This specific problem with refugees we are addressing because we found it's the chief problem that's not being addressed. Other things like learning a second language and the initial housing and resettling is all being addressed with several ESL centers and other programs. This program, with combating the local connections and community isolation problem, is the major hindrance in their self-sufficiency, because they need to know things like simple things, getting to the grocery store, how to operate in the United States economy, where are the doctor's offices, very simple things that they need to do to be integrated into the community that's not being addressed but can be fixed.
So, what is our solution? Reach. Relationships, empowering, and connecting homes. Our program is essentially about fostering relationships through our online presence. We would incorporate awareness as well. We like to call this system the parent system. It essentially would pair refugee families with settled families in America, while currently the local Dallas location. Through this program, you would also connect refugees to potential employers so that they would not fall into that economic struggle. For awareness, we would also implement our social media presence, which would help decrease the stigma attached to refugees, which would hopefully enable us to gain more volunteers. Our program will not function without volunteers, and through social media and through our awareness, that is how we hope to gain more.
So because of the volunteer-based nature of our program, we needed to look through the Dallas area to find a large enough group of volunteers who will be able to provide safe, stable families for our refugees. So we've been looking at mega churches, which are a big thing in Dallas. They have very wide community outreach, huge volunteer base, and they're very interested in evangelical outreach to the community. So they would be a great spot to find our volunteers. And because, in terms of finance, because our program does rely on volunteers, we don't have to pay them, which means that that's a lot of our budget freed up. However, to ensure that our volunteers really are up to the task, we're going to institute a program to quarterly to teach the volunteers short courses on how to better connect with the refugees and know what they're getting into. And for those, we would have to pay the teachers who are teaching the courses. So then, we were hoping that in the future we would be able to achieve a 501c3 nonprofit status, which would mean that although we wouldn't be able to collect revenue, we would be able to accept donations, which through research we found are a big source of budget in most nonprofits and organizations doing what we're doing, where we work with refugees. Now, we acknowledge that there are a lot of risks to the program, such as a lack of volunteers or failed capital. However, this is something we believe very strongly in, and we through our research, we have determined that people are invested in this issue. So, I would like to close with a verse.
Great job. So, just to remark, getting a nonprofit status wouldn't prohibit you from accepting revenues. You can still, you can do more than just get donations, which is something interesting to think about. But let me ask you a little bit about the. Are there no other programs doing what you're doing? Have you done a little bit of the research in terms of, are there other programs that are, is the Dallas or the Houston area void of those?
The Dallas area has
Dallas.
several programs that